I already did an unboxing and a dyno run of the Laifook Thunder here, but now it's time to do a ride video. So let's hop on the bike, put some miles on it, see how fast does this thing go, and how does it handle. All right, my first real ride on this thing. So assist levels 0 through 5. Got our turn signals, which don't give us any indicator. Horn, loud beeper, lights. Let's turn the lights on, give us some visibility. And just out of curiosity, let's see what this thing is like to pedal. All right, so pedal assist 1 moves pretty quick. My knees are very scrunched up, and the assist levels are affecting the throttle. Turn signal. Just gotta remember to turn it off. Let's crank up the power. This thing has a lot of torque. Let's feel it. Very soft, slow start though, I have to admit. Come on, let's go. It just eases the power on. I wish it had a little more pickup on the bottom end. I mean, I'm surprised it's not doing better up this hill, honestly. I think if we had some speed to carry up and over that, it would have done a lot better. Brakes-wise, these are some decent-sized brakes. They look tougher than your average bicycle brake. They feel okay so far. They're stopping well, but you do have to give them a kind of a firm pull. And I feel like I have to pedal this thing right from 0 to get it going. But we saw some crazy RPMs on the dyno. So I think we're gonna see our power up at the higher speeds. So let's see what we get now. .38. Not bad for a 48 volt system. They do have, of course, a 60 volt version of this bike. I think if you want to hit the 40 plus mile an hour speeds on flat ground, that's what you're going to have to go with. And to be honest, it's not that much more. It's only a couple $100 more. I think that's a worthwhile upgrade. Okay, we got a slight downslope. That's letting us pick up some more speed, use some more of the RPM that this thing has. It likes speed. So far it's riding fairly smooth, suspension's comfortable. It's a little bouncy. So when I say bouncy, it means like when you hit a bump, you feel it like a pogo stick multiple times. It's like moving like this a few times, so it doesn't dampen very well. I think that's probably the springs on the back mostly that's doing that, because I've looked at those shocks and they look fairly inexpensive. I think that would be a worthwhile upgrade, especially if you were going to ride 2 people on one of these. 45. Stability-wise, it's not the most stable bike I've felt at speed. I feel like I could induce a speed wobble if I wanted to, or if I go one-handed, I feel a little bit of it. I feel like the tires are good, and I've had these tires on other bikes at high speeds, so it's got to be a geometry thing. Now the motor's really helping us get up to speed, 54. That's not a speed I could get up to just coasting on that hill. There's definitely some motor power helping us get up to that, overcoming some wind resistance. So not a slow bike. This thing would be great on flat areas. I have a little concern about how it's going to do on my commute back up. It might struggle to climb these long hills a little bit. This is a 48 volt, 50 amp hour battery. I wish I could see how much power we were drawing right now, so I could kind of calculate how far could you go at this kind of speed. I'm going to assume we're drawing, you know, somewhere in the 1500 plus watt range. Let me think about this. This is a 48 volt battery and 50 amp hours. Let's see, that's about 2.5 kilowatt hours. So you could maybe do like an hour and a half on the battery flat out like that. So theoretically, let's say you can maintain 45. I don't know, I mean, that could be like 60 to 70 miles on throttle, having it pinned on flat ground. That's pretty good. And of course, if you take it easy, you can easily get this thing to go over 100 miles, 150 miles at nice slow e-bike speeds. Totally doable. But who's going to do that when you can go this fast? Well, maybe a lot of people would be, because it's a little wiggly. I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of a speed wobble that I'm not a huge fan of. Those always can be fine-tuned. I could adjust the suspension, make it firmer, make it softer, change the tire pressure, change the position of the stem. So I might be able to mess with the bike a little bit and try and get rid of that. But I'm just gonna have to deal with it for right now. All right, there's the speed wobble. Clamp the frame. Yeah, that might have done it. This frame seems really stout, so it seems like that'd be weird if it was caused by that. All right, there's the speed wobble. Clamp the frame. Wow, that actually does take it right out. I was not expecting that. Look at this. Solid. Take my legs off. All right, I can induce a speed wobble, put my legs on, boom, gone. Isn't that crazy? Firm pull on the brakes, but it does stop nice. Might look like I'm easing the power on, but I'm not. That's full throttle. That's just how fast this accelerates. Takes a little bit of time to get up to speed, but it does get there. I mean, you saw the speeds I was going. Luna! Oh, yes! There's my kitty. So I'm not worried about my range this morning. I know it's uphill all the way. I'm gonna go as fast as this thing can go. I'm not worried about the braking. I'm not worried about the handling now that I know that I can kind of stiffen it up a little bit here. The only thing I'm worried about is what's the speed gonna be like uphill? I mean, I know it's gonna go like normal e-bike speeds very, very easily. I think for this 48 volt, it's just my opinion that they should have gone with a slightly different winding of motor. One that doesn't spin up to quite such a high RPM, but gives you a little more torque. I think that would have been a better balance for this bike. Just because I live where there's a lot of hills. If you don't, it's not really gonna be an issue. But now here comes the hills. This is what I'm most curious about. What is our performance uphill? And this is a long hill. We got several miles of this. So there answers my question of if we can maintain 30. Not quite. I'll be happy with anything over 20. Don't do it. Don't do it. Good, it did. Oh, wait. You didn't see that. So far, we've been able to maintain 20. So there's one hill that's a bit steeper on the way up here. I think we're gonna drop down a little bit below 20. So steep hills, no pedaling, keep in mind. Like, I'm not even bothering. The battery's so big, I don't need to. So if I were to describe the handling of this bike, I would say it's very quick to turn, very nimble feeling. It's not a, like, heavy, sluggish feeling bike. It is a little bit on the long side, so you do feel that. But some bikes are very stable. I feel like you could ride hands off. This one's a little too twitchy for that, but it makes it feel maneuverable. So at low speeds, it feels really nice and very maneuverable around parking lots and stuff like that. The high-speed handling is not particularly its forte, but I think that's because of the frame thing. If that was resolved, I think I would feel a lot better about the handling on this. Oh, so I wasn't wrong. I do have a hill that it's going to struggle up. So this hill does not feel steeper than the other hills I was on, but I think we just couldn't get up to speed, and so it's struggling to get into a little bit better of a cruise mode. I think if I had a run up, like if that stop sign wasn't back there, I would definitely be going faster up this hill right now. My knees are a little scrunched, but honestly this pedaling actually isn't that bad. It's nice that it has some gears and you can do this. You know, I'm gonna let off the throttle. Let's just go on pedal assist for a minute. What's this thing like to ride? Not terrible. I mean, I could always scooch way back in the saddle or onto like the rear seat, but then my arms would be stretched out kind of ridiculous. I don't know if I'm just experiencing a little bit of a voltage drop or what, but I'm just not getting the performance I was earlier. So around the bend up here, there's a little bit of a downhill. I'm hoping that gets us back up to the speed this thing is capable of. All right, here's the downhill. Not much of a downhill, but I'm hoping it's enough to loosen the load up a little bit and let me get up to a better cruising speed, and then let's see if we can maintain that. No cars behind us, so let's take the lane, because now we're getting there. 35. See, this is where it's like the motor can spin me up to these high speeds, but if I had a little more torque, it could actually get me there. Oh look, Blake's got all the bikes out ready to go. So I was talking about the 48 volt version of the bike and a 60 volt version, and thankfully a local customer came in and test rode this bike and really liked it, but he wanted the 60 volt version. So he let me do a dyno run on it before it went out the door. So you can see this bike has 48 pound-feet of torque. That is a lot. I mean, it's realistically way up on the board. 2,100 watts, 48 pound-feet. So if you bump up to the 60 volt, you get 56 pound-feet. So a bit more torque, a bit more wattage, a bit more horsepower. I think that is enough that would really help it up those hills. I think that's a worthwhile upgrade for an extra couple $100. Last time I checked the pricing, that's what it was. So there it is, guys. The Laifook Thunder. You got a brake light, you got turn signals, you got a passenger seat, passenger pegs. Nice, comfortable riding seat. Definitely my favorite thing about the bike is the battery size for the price. I mean, there's not a lot of things out there for the low to mid $2,000 price range with batteries this size. It's just huge. You really could go a long ways on this. And I like that it's a unique, different design. This is not something we've seen before. It's totally different. The suspension was comfortable. I like the tires. They're nice and wide. And if you like the motorcycle style e-bikes, I think overall it's a good looking bike. I will put some links in the description of this video.